Just when you thought you could turn your back and walk away, the dark cloud of human indignity follows you. You have no choice but to turn and look it in the eye. It's the sex offender hit list.
Let's head down to Louisiana for this one. A Sorrento man was arrested after being accused of sex crimes against juveniles and an animal. According to Attorney General Liz Murrow's office, 20-year-old Jaden McConnell was arrested by the Cybercrime Unit on Tuesday. The investigation into McConnell started after the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received a cyber tip. McConnell was arrested and booked into the Ascension Parish Jail on charges of 30 counts of child sexual abuse material involving juveniles and sexual abuse of an animal. The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, and the Homeland Security assisted with the arrest of this chomo.
Yeah, my mother told me there'd be days like this.
Sattar Ahmed Khan, 26-year-old, was arrested at his Manassas home. Detectives determined Khan utilized an electronic device to arrange sexual acts with a subject that he believed was a minor. Well, we all know it wasn't now. Khan was arrested on 2 counts of purpose sex act via communication device. That's a new one for me. To a person less than 15 years old. Khan, of course, was transported to the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center and held on no bond. Gotta love it.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here!
Texas. A Lorena man remains jailed after his arrest Tuesday on child sexual abuse material charges, as well as possession of meth. I mean, look at him, you can tell, right? This is Michael Christopher Pollen, a 42-year-old. He was placed under bonds totaling a mere $27,500. It's pretty low. After his arrest by Woodway officers. The Woodway police received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about multiple files of images and videos depicting child sexual abuse that were uploaded to his Verizon account. The search warrant revealed 33 video files and 1 video screenshot of child sexual abuse material. The files also contained selfies of Pollen, photos of his girlfriend, and other photos that the Woodway detectives say Pollen admitted to taking with his phone. Pollen denied possessing or viewing the child sexually abusive material, but admitted that his Google account was deactivated for sharing a video of an individual who looked really young. How suspicious is that? One video uncovered is 53 minutes long and shows a girl about 10 years old exposed in a sexual manner. The Woodway officers executed a search warrant also on Pollen's 2016 Kia Forte in February. They were searching for electronic devices capable of media storage, and during their search, Pollen admitted that he had meth in a safe in the vehicle. Of course, officers searched the safe and they found just a little under a gram of methamphetamines. Well, see ya, you meth-using chomo.
I'd like to know what dirty stool pigeon squealed on me.
Warren, Michigan. Well, it's where I grew up from 8 till about 16, 17 years old. 22-year-old man has been charged in connection with allegedly touching a child inappropriately at a Warren store last weekend. Elijah Lawrence was arrested soon after the incident reported Sunday afternoon at the Home Depot on Hoover Road. Been there many times. An 11-year-old girl told relatives that she and her sister entered the woman's bathroom and noticed another adult enter, but the man, identified as Lawrence, followed behind them. Upon exiting the bathroom, the male inappropriately touched the 11-year-old victim. The girl's family notified the store staffers, who found Lawrence in the store and called 911. Lawrence fled and stole a bike. authorities said. Investigators also believe he broke into a car before the bathroom incident. Well, the next day, investigators tracked Lawrence to his home in Warren and arrested him. Elijah Lawrence. Yep, he was arraigned Wednesday through the 37th District Court on one count of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, a 15-year felony. Let me tell you something about those Warren judges. They don't mess around. He's going to get hammered. Along with the criminal sexual conduct, he's also being charged with one count of possession of child sexually abusive material, a 4-year felony, and 2 counts of larceny less than $200, a 93-day misdemeanor. And of course, a not guilty plea was entered and bond was set at $500,000. See ya, Chomo.
I'm gonna give you solitary confinement for 99 years.
A Grand Island man who is a registered sex offender has been arrested for the first and third degree sexual assault of a child. On Monday, April 15th, the Grand Island Police Department began investigating the possible sexual abuse of a 10-year-old female. Following that investigation, Jeremy Mason, a 41-year-old, was arrested for the sexual assault. According to the Nebraska Sex Offender Registry, Mason is a 15-year registered sex offender for a third-degree sexual assault involving a minor that he was convicted of back in 2019. See, these cases I don't understand. He's been convicted of messing around with a child. They don't put him on the sex offender registry for life. It's just 15 years. They let him out after a year or two in prison, if he even went, who knows. And he does it again. Well, per court documents, Mason is facing 2 counts of violating the Sex Offender Registry Act in Hall County, as well as the charges he's being brought up on for this. Sickening. See ya, Chomo.
Now get in there!
Now we'll head over to North Carolina. The Columbus County Sheriff's Office arrested a man charged with sexually assaulting a child on Tuesday, April 16th, yesterday. During the investigation, detectives learned that the victim, a minor child, participated in a puppet show presentation at their school depicting inappropriate sexual contact. The puppet show encouraged children to always tell the truth in situations such as the one depicted in this presentation. Following the puppet show, the minor child felt compelled to share their experience with a trusted adult. The child said Trequail Javon Rose had sexually assaulted them multiple times when they were between the ages of 6 and 7 years old, leading them to contacting law enforcement. Forensic interviews and medical examinations matched up with the allegations of abuse, and arrest warrants were obtained on April 15th, and his Chomo was arrested the next day. Rose is being held under a $850,000 secured bond at the county jail. He's charged with first-degree statutory rape, felony child abuse, statutory sex offense by child with adult, and felony probation violation.
Yeah, my mother told me there'd be days like this.
And while we're in Louisiana here, a Texas man was arrested by the Concordia Parish Sheriff's Office after an investigation revealed he was in possession of child sexual abuse material. According to officials, the CPSO Cybercrime Unit began investigating 25-year-old Alexander Eugene Morris after Mr. Morris allegedly took possession of his former partner's online accounts. Through the investigation, deputies learned that Morris also strangled the victim a week prior and began stalking them. Authorities executed a search warrant for Morris's home on Friday, and they seized his electronic devices. Detectives found child sexual abuse material involving juveniles, and they were able to recover the victim's online accounts. Morris was charged with pornography involving juveniles, 4 counts of stalking, felony battery of a dating partner by strangulation, identity theft, and possession of Schedule II narcotics. Wow. See ya, Chomo. Back down to Texas. Deputies announced Monday the arrest of a Denison man on child sexual abuse material charges last week. According to the Grayson County Sheriff's Office, Deputies arrested William Joseph Smith, a 60-year-old, at his residence in the 200 block of Ross Avenue on Thursday. Seems to me like we're getting a lot of chomos that look like this, all scruffy, with the cigarette stains, tobacco stains, whatever, around their lips. Disgusting looking son of a gun. Anyways, investigators received information that Smith was in the possession of child sexual abuse material of children under the age of 10. And he arrested him on 2 counts of possession of that material. During the investigation, it was confirmed that Smith did have these photos and videos in his possession, the sheriff's office said. The case is still actually under investigation and will be forwarded to the Grayson County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. But meanwhile, this chomo, Mr. Smith, is currently being held in the Grayson County Jail on $500,000 bond. See ya, chomo.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here! I'd like to know what dirty stone pigeon squealed on me.
A Warsaw man was recently arrested after allegedly molesting a child multiple times over the last 5 years. 54-year-old Paul Brian Maples is being charged with 3 counts of child molesting, which are all level 1 felonies. On April 11th, a Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Office deputy responded to a child molestation report. The child said that Maples molested them for the last 5 years and gave their relative a notebook to describe the incidents. In an interview at the Safe Harbor Child Advocacy Center, the child said Maples told them not to tell anyone what had happened when they first were molested. The last time Maples allegedly molested the child was in November of last year. The child said they were scared to tell anyone about the molesting and estimated they were molested about 3 times a month and over 20 times every year. The child's relative provided officers with that notebook which described the incidents, and on one page the child wrote that if they engaged in appropriate activity with Maples, that Maples would do favors for them. In an interview on April 15th, Maples confessed to molesting the child and said he wanted to turn himself in. He implied that he didn't threaten, force, or make promises to the child. Maples also estimated he molested that child around 50 times. Maples was then booked into the Kosciuszko County Jail on April 15th with a $201,000 surety and cash bond. See ya, chomo.
Now get in there!
When a child experiences trauma, they can be stripped of their ability to imagine. But imagination is colors. All the colors. Imagination is freedom. And whatever you want it to be. But a child without imagination is not a child at all. Will you help defend our right to imagine?